Hello, 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 hello. How are you? Excuse me, I'm going in and out. Hey, everybody, happy Friday. Happy Friday. What's going on with you? Welcome, 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 everyone. Happy Friday to you. I pray that you've had an absolutely fabulous week. It went by fast, did it? It went by fast. Welcome. How you doing? Mo, what's going on? I ain't seen you in a while, dude. What's been going on with you? Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your Friday afternoon if you work or if you're on lunch break or wherever you are in the world. I greatly appreciate you being in my space. Thank you so much. Hello, how you doing? You on I'm on Snapchat too. Hey sis, Gina. Oh, excuse me, Adrian, how you doing today? I'm on Snapchat too, but I very seldom use it. What's going on, Adrian? How you doing? How was your day? Thank you all so much for being here. Great. I'm so happy to hear that. I greatly appreciate all the beautiful orange hearts. I greatly appreciate the shares. I greatly appreciate your conversation and your communication. Mo's on Snapchat, so follow him. On Snapchat. I'm still learning it. I'm getting better at it. I don't snap as much as I should, or I guess what they say is another form of social media. I'm doing enough just keeping up with what I got going on, trying to be consistent. So yes, I love Snapchat. I love the little pictures that people have on their face when I see them. It's awesome. My name is Nichelle Womack, and I am a life transition strategist. I help you start, market, and grow into the CEO. I help new, aspiring, and the dreamers and the seekers, those that are seeking to transition from their life with information and inspiration, again, to start, market, and grow into the CEO. Yes, you have to start somewhere. And most of the time, what I found today, what I'm going to share with you is what I share with my students. I teach intro to business, and when I'm talking to my students, majority of them have had aspirations and inspiration to start a business, but they don't know where to begin. And I too can relate to that wholeheartedly, because when I started my business over 20 years ago, I had no freaking idea. No freaking idea. What's your code, Mo? Send me a DM with that information, and I'll most definitely do that. But I had no freaking idea of what it takes to, or what it took to start a business. Believe it or not, every day is a learning process, because there's always a curve that's thrown at you. Mohiro, okay, I'll get that. I'll do that. I'll do that as soon as I get off of here. And so a curveball. That's what I like to call it. Every now and then in business, you get a curveball. Why? Because it's changed. Even in the 20 years that I've been in business, it's changed. So first of all, I like to take the time to welcome all of you to my broadcast. I like to take the time to welcome all those replay viewers that come in. Thank you for coming in, sharing, and tapping that screen, giving some love. And I also appreciate my People Connect podcast. That is my daily podcast that I try to get on there. Actually, most of the scopes that I do go on there, and then sometimes throughout the day, if I'm available, I record broadcast as well. So you can go check that out at the People Connect podcast, and you'll see it. I think that it's bit.ly People Connect podcast, and you can see all of my episodes there. Also, my YouTube family, as well as Twitter and Instagram at Nichelle Womack, and I'm on Facebook at Nichelle Womack as well. And so, who do I have in the room today? This Friday evening, do you have plans? If you don't, I hope you do. It's the weekend, baby. Yes, when I was talking to my students, they were like, Miss Womack, can we hurry up and get out of class? Because I'm like, okay, well, when we get finished with our work, then we will go and we will do our plans. Welcome. How you doing, Sachi? I think that's what that says. Thank you all for taking time out of your day. So let's talk about this, okay? Business, as I mentioned. Hello, how are you? Welcome from Albania. Welcome. Yes, thank you. Nationwide, worldwide, I love it. Thank you for being in my space today. You are a wonderful blessing to be in here. Thank you so much. So let's talk about these 6 things. As I mentioned when I was talking to my students today, everybody wants to start a business. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate it so much. Everybody wants to start a business, but there are some skills and some talents that you have to have in order for it to be a success. Now, you can jump off a cliff on faith and do it, but I tell you what, the more information, the more inspiration, motivation, and education, and people in your corner that you have to help support you, the more successful you will be. When I started mine, as I mentioned, the only thing that I was riding on, yes, so true. The only thing that I was riding on was my education. You see, but I think you need education and experience together, because the education I learned, it really taught me to go work for someone else. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth, a college degree. It taught me to go work for somebody else. Fortunately, I went to an HBCU, historically black college and university, where they taught us the format of starting a business. I started one in college, and I had some kind of experience. You think that people love a lot of hate when they see us high to success? I hope not. People do, though. I believe that. Yes, sorry for the cut. That's okay. I believe that is possibly could be the case. But with that being said, they taught us that we had to learn how to write a business plan, a marketing strategy, all of that. Funding, where you can get funding from, everything. And so when I started my business in college, it kind of enabled me to have some success. And I know I've shared this with you before. If I had held on to my business, even today, the one that I had in college, I would probably be a billionaire right about now, because it was a concept that nobody was doing. And now I see it pop up all the time that people are doing it. In fact, one of my businesses that I have, I've actually reiterated what I did in college, and I'm starting to do some of those things again. And so I'm so excited to share this information, because this is the beginning of our semester where we're talking about things that you need to do to start a business. So I'm going to give you some tips, tactics, and things of that nature to kind of help you think about what it takes to start a business. But of course, it's more than this. Now, this is just a process, a step to help you get there. And hopefully you would do due diligence on your own to try to get some more information. What business you started? Sorry, I don't know, because your first time here. Welcome. Thank you so much. Your first time here. Well, when I was in college, I started an errand service, and it was specifically for people that were around the community, professors, senior citizens, people that worked every day. We would go get their laundry, bring them lunch, things of that nature. And it was a very, very successful business. I started with one of my students, was actually people that went to the school next to me. I graduated from Clark Atlanta University, and the guy went to Morehouse, and we started the business together. It was a partnership. And when I wasn't in class, he was doing the business. When he was in class, I was doing the business. So it was a great partnership. We did very, very well. And upon graduation, being that we were going separate ways, he got a job on Wall Street in New York, and we did not continue the business. If I had done that today, I know I would have been a billionaire. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? Welcome, sis. How are you? Thank you so much for coming in. I greatly appreciate the share as well. So, again, when you get something and it's gold, hold on to it. If you don't know if it's going to work, keep holding on to it. If it's not working, get rid of it. If you think it can work, try to work a different plan, a different scheme, so that you can make it work. Because I believe if it's a good idea, somebody else thinks it's a better idea. Yes, amazing. So wonderful. Great. I'm so glad to hear that you in public administration, that's an excellent field too, especially if you want to get on the political side of it, or if you want to do something to help within the community. All of our communities need public assistance and administration to help them be better. And that's how you build communities within that career spectrum. So I did graduate with my BA in business, a concentration in management. I went on and got my MBA, which is a master's in business administration with a concentration in leadership. And now I'm currently pursuing a PhD in human psychology and development. I'll finish that next December, if the Lord says the same. It's been a struggle. Yes, it has been a struggle. I also am licensed as a real estate broker for 16 years, going on 17. And I also have an insurance license that I've had for 5 years. Actually, I've had that 10 years, but I let it lapse. Yeah, I let it lapse. Never. If you study for something, don't let your license lapse, please. Because I let it lapse, and I had to go back and take it again. So I've actually been holding it for about 5 years now. And so I'm so excited. I love business. I love helping people start businesses. I love teaching people about business. Yes, Cheryl. You know that AUC, that's one of my AUC friends right there too. She's a graduate of Spelman. And we were right next to each other. And as I mentioned, I was telling them, Cheryl, about my friend from Morehouse. That's who I started the business with. What kind of insurance? I do health, I do life, I do auto. Most of my business consumes of life and health. I also do annuities. I'm in the process of trying to get a license. Serious, you're thinking about getting a license? Get it. but you got to have a passion for it. Yes, you got to have a passion for it, because my passion is I love to help people because people need insurance. I'm so tired of seeing people do GoFundMe. GoFundMe is not life insurance. Please get you some life insurance. I help people every day get life insurance for $1 a day. $1 a day. I don't care how old you are, you need some life. Unless you are already a billionaire or millionaire, and if something catastrophic were to happen to you, you can take care of yourselves. You want to start a business? Okay, because partnerships, I love JVs and partnerships and things, but I got to seek people out. Do I have any? No, I don't think so. You may be the first. Yes, your life keep calling me to come work with them. If your life is calling you, because I believe in callings, if they're of the right sound mind, then go ahead and investigate and see if that's your passion. That's one thing that we need to be aware of. You should not start a business in something if you're not passionate about it. Depending on why you're starting it. If you're doing it just to get money, residual income, and things of that nature, that may be a different. New York Life Insurance, yeah, they called me too. I worked with them just for a second, and then I went on my own and became a broker. So I have access to over 50 insurance companies that I work with. I'm currently licensed in Missouri and Georgia. And I'm in the process of getting licensed in Texas, Illinois, and Indiana. That's what I'm in the process of doing. So I believe in being licensed everywhere. I want to be all over the place, because you'll give $24.99 to drive in MIMS up to Chicago right now. Okay. Yes, of course. You could be my friend. I greatly appreciate you. In America since 1999. I didn't catch the rest of that. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and I respect your time. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with these 6 simple tips. And I greatly appreciate you tapping that screen. That lets me know that, first of all, that you're listening to me. I'm not talking to myself to this screen. And then second of all, you appreciate what I'm sharing with you as well. So God bless each and every one of you. And I thank you for those coming in. Thank you for the shares. And I'm getting ready to share this wonderful free information with you so that you can prosper in your life. As I mentioned, my name is Nichelle Womack, and I am a life transition strategist. I help the dreamers, the aspiring, and the new business owner. Thank you so much. Transition in their life with information and inspiration to start, market, and grow into the CEO. As I mentioned, you do have to start, you have to market, and you have to grow, especially if you're coming from that 9 to 5. It's really difficult to transition from a 9 to 5 into an entrepreneurship position. However, you have the skills, you have the work ethic, you should. And so it could be an easy transition, but just going on your own, whereas you've been working with someone else, it can be difficult. So if you follow these 6 simple steps, it could help you get a great start. Number 1. You want to assess what you know. All of us know something. All of us know something. Even if you've been on the same job, especially if you've been on the same job for quite some time. Whatever they've trained you on, whatever you've learned, those are skills that you know. So I ask you to sit down and assess what you know. And in that assessment of what you know, that will enable you to see what you are passionate about. Now, for me, when I graduated, as I mentioned, I graduated with a business degree. I went straight into education. I taught high school. And in teaching high school, that wasn't what I wanted to do, because I'm not an in-building type of worker. I've always loved sales, being out. And so I worked in education for about 5 years. That wasn't my passion. I saw my passion was for sales and for business. And so after getting out of that, I started assessing my skills. I knew I loved to teach. So I wanted to get another profession that would allow me to teach. And that was pharmaceutical sales. I did that for about 5 years, got promoted to a manager, and began to teach other people how to work in pharmaceutical sales. So when you assess what you know, what you learned from school, what you've done in your work, in life, and the experience that you've attained, that will help you. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for being in my space today. That will help you get started on those 6 simple steps. Number 1, assess what you already know, because based upon what you already know, it will help enable you for what you're going to learn in the future. Number 1. Number 2, you want to formulate some ideas. Hello, welcome. You want to formulate some ideas. They don't have to be perfect ideas. Just jot them down. Jot down things about that you're good at. Jot down things that you like. Jot down things that people ask you for advice about. People always ask me for advice. Assess what you already know. Thank you, Cheryl. People always are asking me for advice. The other day, I got a stiff kick in the butt. And I'm going to tell you how. Because I always give information for free. And my husband told me the other day, he said, how do you expect to build your business and grow if you keep giving everything away for free? He said, you are not Dear Abby. Look, he counting the dollars. That's what he's doing. He was counting the dollars. And so I thought about that and I said, yeah, because in school, we learned that you have to have a product and a service. That's the next thing that I want to talk to you about. And so when you formulate ideas, hello, how are you? Hey, Dr. Finch, how's it going? Welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And so we look at what we're good at. We look at what people ask us advice about. We look at what we like and see if it's available. One of my girlfriends in college, she actually, thank you so much for sharing, Dr. Finch. She actually created the things that you put on the toilet. Scented. She created scented seats to put on a toilet so that you can carry them with you. Whereas when you go into a public restroom, instead of sitting on the toilet, you got something that's scented that you can put down. She created that. My college buddy. And both of us majored in business. And so with that being said, that was something that wasn't available. Now you see a whole bunch of other copies out there. In fact, if you go into the public restroom now, you will find that they have a slot where you can put women. I don't know about men, but women, we can pull it out of the slot and sit on it. So that's not her creation. There's been generic ones after that. And that's the key about business. What you're doing, it does not have to be a recreation. It doesn't have to be a recreation. You can already recreate the wheel. Why recreate the wheel when it already exists? All you have to do is manipulate it and make it suit you. I shared that the other day when I was talking about myths in business. People think you have to have a good idea to start a business. You don't. You have to have a good idea, because with that good idea, you have to know how to manipulate it to make it different, to make it better, and make it that somebody will want it. That's it. And so when you look at the advice people ask you, hello, hey, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for coming in. I greatly appreciate you. And so when we're talking about what other people ask us for advice, if someone is asking you for advice, that may be something that you're gifted in. All of us are gifted in different gifts. We have gifts that we have yet to unwrap, that we've yet to share with the world. And so when we're talking about different things, we have to be mindful of that. What would you like to see that's not available? As I mentioned, my girlfriend, she said, I'm getting tired of going to this bathroom and sitting on this nasty toilet without something besides toilet paper sitting around. She created a need. That's what it takes. What's available that you can improve? So number 2, formulate ideas. Number 3, you want to test the market. Yes, test the need that you have thought of, that idea, test it in the market. So what's the use of creating it if there's no need? People buy based on need, desire, and want. People buy based on need, desire, and want. Thank you, Cheryl. And so if there is a need for it, all you got to do is put it out and test it in the market. How do you do that? Number 1, run it by your friends. Run it by your friends. If you have good friends that are honest with you, just run it by them and say, what do you think about this? Would you buy it? And if they say yes, or if they say, don't even tell them it's yours. Yes, she gave a solution to a problem. Exactly, Cheryl. That's a need. You got to provide solutions to problems, because there are so many problems around us. If you don't provide it, you can be that solution provider, as I always say. And so think about this. When you run it by your friends, if you have good friends, they're going to be honest with you. I would hope. Family members, somebody that you can trust that's not going to hate on you, but that's going to give you some honest feedback. Run that test market, that need, by them. Again, don't tell them it's yours. Just see if there's something they will use. And then from there, provide samples. I know I have a product that I utilize that I'm actually getting ready to send to market right now as we speak. I'm just trying to get feedback from FDA and all of that. But in that process, I've gone to places that had career fairs. I've gone to places that maybe were distributing food, and I set a table out there and I gave individual samples and I asked for feedback. And so all the people that came by and tried the product, they thought it was good, except one person. She said that if I were to change this, I would make it more appealing. Take that as feedback. That is how you test market. How do you test market? You can do surveys, you can do Q&As. Even Periscope allows you to get on here and do Q&As with your audience. Yes, awesome. Q&As with your audience. So what I did in my classroom with my students, exactly the same thing. I brought each one of them. I typically have 30 to 50 students on a regular semester when they come in. And so I brought about 30 to 50 things in there, and I didn't tell them this was Miss Womack. Yes, I didn't tell them that it was my business. And so when I did that, I just passed it out to everyone and got feedback. Some of them said they liked it. Some of them said they didn't. But the key is you're not going to be able to please everybody. You're not going to be able to please everybody. So with that, I took the things that they dislike, and I'm working on those things that they dislike right now, because I want to have more people liking it than disliking it. So keep that in mind. Surveys, samples, run it by your friends. Anybody in the community, do setups or pop-up shops wherever you go. If somebody's doing a display, if they have small businesses that are coming there, market your product as samples to see what the people think about it, and take that feedback and go improve it and make it better. Number 4, as part of the simple steps that you can start a business, like right away, okay? You want to understand the legal aspects of a business. Now, when I first started my business after I graduated, yes, market by giving samples. That's a really easy marketing process there, especially if you can afford it. And it don't have to be a whole sample. It can be a piece of it, because that's what I've been giving out, pieces of my sample to see what people thought about it. You want to understand the legal barriers to your business. The legal aspects, the barriers, because there are tons of them that you may not be aware of. And if you are breaking the law when starting your business, that's not a good way to start off, because basically what's going to happen is probably going to dampen your spirits. You're going to get, as far as the government is concerned, or the municipality, you're going to get issues from there. When I opened up my first business after graduating from college, was a real estate company. I opened it up out of my home. And I didn't realize that the municipality said that you couldn't have a business in your home where I lived. And I got fined. That wasn't a good thing. And I didn't even know what I was getting fined for, because I didn't do the research to see if in my municipality, hello, how are you, if I could have a home business. So every municipality don't warn and want home businesses ran out of your home. So you need to make certain of that. Go down to the courthouse. Go down to the courthouse in your municipality and see if they will allow you to have a home business. So now if you're sneaking around, that's something different, but you want to do it structured well. Yes, you want to do it structured well. And so following the law is so important in business, because you don't want to be fined and things of that nature. So go to the court municipality. You also want to make certain in your state, things of that nature, that it's okay to do that. Most states don't mind small businesses and homes. It's the municipality that will get you in the long run. You may have to pay for a license to have a business in your home. You may have to provide quarterly updates, what's going on. The thing is, you need to be aware, the legal barriers. Also, how are you going to operate your business? There are so many different types of businesses that you can open. And when I'm talking about the legalities of them, the LLCs, the limited liability companies, you can do sole proprietor, you can do partnership. Yes, you want to check those things out. Now, I personally have always had LLCs. Corporations, dealing with the taxes and things necessarily just wasn't my favorite. As I mentioned in my previous scope the other day, I don't like accounting. But I know accounting, because I'm going to count my money before somebody else does. Yes. And so with that being said, you literally want to be mindful of those things, because if you're not, it can really create a lot of hardship later on. And I don't personally like sole proprietorship, because it gives too much liability to you. If something were to happen, they can come back and get you. Versus if it's an LLC, limited liability company, all of the liability, at least a good portion of it, falls upon the company. And so that's something you want to look at. You want to make certain that the structure of your business is sound, very sound, that is very fluid in what you're doing, and that it follows the guidelines of the municipality that you live in and the law. I can't stress that enough, because you could end up paying more in the long run. Yes, you didn't know. Oh, yes. I'm telling you, I've learned the hard way, Cheryl. After being in business 20 years, I've made many bleeps and blunders that I've learned from, and that's what I teach my students right now. These are things that you don't want to do, because if you go down that path, it's harder to get out of it than it is to get in it. Most of the time, as with anything in life, it's hard to get out of situations. It's so easy to get in trouble. So easy, but so hard to get out. And so if you follow the rules and regulations prior to, you don't have to worry about that. The next one I want to share with you is determine. Yes, thank you so much. Is to determine. Determine what type of capital are you going to need to start your business. Now, I shared this the other day too when I was talking about the myths. Yes, you got to check the municipality, because every municipality don't allow you to have a business in your home. And if they do, like I mentioned, they may charge you a fee. They may ask for quarterly things. Hello, how are you? Hey, Pat, what's going on, girl? How you doing? Nice to see you. And so you want to make certain of that, because you don't want to be breaking any laws. And then people, sometimes your neighbors will tell on you. They'll tell on you, depending on what kind of business you got, people coming in and out of your house, or you got a lot of packages coming. It could be a problem or issue in the community. So please check on that. As I was saying, the determining the capital. Now, people will tell you, and I say this all the time, if somebody tell you can start a business for free, run. Run if they tell you can start a business for free. Now, I will say you can start a business with limited income, a little money. You don't need a whole lot. You just need really your word of mouth, getting out there with your mouth, your advertisement. You are your advertisement, and you are your brand. So you can get out there and market yourself. However, for you to grow, for you to evolve and develop in your business, you're going to have to spend some money on marketing materials. You're going to have to spend some money on business cards, eventually a web page, landing page, whatever. You're going to have to spend some money. And in some professions, clothes. As a real estate broker and an insurance broker, when clients come into my space, my office, I can't be looking any kind of way, with my hair all over my head, clothes, things of that nature, because they have to see a business when they see me. You are a business. You are the CEO of you. You have to carry yourself that way. And so with that being said, you may have to have clothes. All of these things are tax deductible. Yes, it costs to set up a business. It's not free. It may be a little to no cost in the beginning, but eventually you're going to have some money coming out of your pocket. And so keep these things in mind. How are you going to do this? Are you going to use credit? Are you going to use credit cards? That's how I bought my first property, my first rental property. I used my credit cards. I had probably about $20,000-$30,000 worth of credit, and I took it and bought a house on credit. Yes. So you have to determine. That's how I got started in investing, in real estate investing, using that means of method of buying properties. And so are you going to use your savings? They tell you to borrow from your friends and family. But I don't know, nobody in my friends or family are going to loan me some money. So I had to use my savings that I had generated from income that the job that I had. Savings. Yes. You thinking about doing that now? Doing what? Saving, using your money for using credit cards? Yeah, but make sure you can pay them too. That's why I got in trouble. It lasted for a minute. Yes, everybody I know broke too. You too? Everybody I know broke. And that is a shame. That is a shame that everybody we know, at least most part, are broke. Credit cards for rental property. Yes, I did that. I had $30,000 of credit, and I bought property. What happened, what got me properties for nothing. And in buying the properties for little or to nothing, I was getting tenants in there. And this is why it's so key to evaluate your tenants, because I do Section 8, and I was also doing just market rate rent. And when people stop paying their rent, you got to pay that note. And so I wasn't doing a really good evaluation of tenant, looking at my tenant, what their background was. That's another scope there, but you got to be very careful. And so when they weren't paying it, I ended up having to pay it. And then I had my credit cards to pay. Doomsday. Yeah, so you got to be mindful of that. Again, those bleeps and blunders that I've learned, never again will I do it. You always have to be prepared. Have you something on the side. I speak of that all the time with business. When you're talking about business, whatever business that you have, make certain that you have something to complement, that's complementary to the business that you do. As I mentioned, as a real estate broker, yes, I've learned a lot though. With education and experience, I've learned a lot, and life. So with real estate, I said, why not get something that can add to it, add value to my real estate business? So I started the insurance company. When people buy a house, they need insurance. You need insurance just in case something happens, your loved one passes away. Who's going to get the house? The government. So you need insurance for that. And then I sell them, that's the life insurance that I sell them. They need health insurance. They need homeowners insurance. Perfect combination, real estate and insurance. Yeah, so that's how I came up with that. And so when you're talking about your capital, determining the amount of capital you're going to need, if you get a grant, people need to be mindful. Grants are not for profit. They're for non-profit. And if you get one, you're very lucky. You need to hire a good grant writer. I actually know one because she writes my grants. That's what she's doing in the process now. But with that being said, you need to be mindful of a good grant writer because everybody does not get one. That's why you need to have some money on the side. That's exactly what you was thinking. Real estate insurance is a great investment, a great opportunity, and it gives residual income. Very few professions that you do will give you residual income. In insurance and real estate, they do. Well, not real estate, but insurance does. So the only way you get residual income with real estate is if you have rental property. That's where that passive income comes in there. And so when you're thinking about that, grants, savings, credit, borrowing from family and friends, again, none of my friends' family, they had money, so they weren't looking to give me nothing. If I wanted to do it, I had to go out there and do it on my own. Work a job, save your money, do what you need to do to help elevate your life and get you to that next level. Number 6, this is the final thing. Number 6, again, if you're just coming in, my name is Nisha Womack. I'm a life transition strategist. I help the dreamers, the aspiring, and the new business owners transition in their life with information and inspiration to start, market, and grow into the CEO. And so I have been in business myself for over 20 years. I've worked in corporate America over 20 years. But the most important thing out of all of this, I've been the CEO of me, which means no J-O-B for the last 10 years. I've been writing my own check. Sometimes there's some zeros on it. Sometimes it's not. But that's where we get better every day. I tell you what, I would not pass up everything I've learned. I would not change anything that I've gone through because I've valued and got the greatest gift from it. So I'm so excited about that. Yes. And so number 6, the last and final thing that you need to do to start your business is 6 simple steps. You need to execute that plan. So many people dream. This is what I talk about to my students. Everybody wants to start a business, but most people don't. Most people don't. One, because they don't know how. Yes, thank you so much. They don't know how. They don't get the information. They don't have the inspiration. They got people in their ears saying, that's not a good idea. I mean, so many different things. So many different things. You got to execute the plan because it doesn't matter. Everything I told you, it will not work if you do not execute that plan. How do you execute the plan? Put it into action. Faith without action is dead. And so in executing that plan, what you do is you start a business plan. Everything that I share with you from 1 through 5 must be a part of your business plan. It must be displayed. You must understand it, and you must be prepared to explain it. Yes, you must. And so these things that I mentioned to you are very key. As I mentioned, I love helping people execute that business plan. That's the most important. And it does not have to be long. Depending on what type of business that you're doing, I got a client right now who's starting the clothing line. And his business page is 5 pages. It's okay. It's a beginning startup. He got very, very little things to do with it. 5 pages. He got his executive summary, he got the information with finances on there, the mission of his business, things that he's going to do, what he plans to do community-wise, how he plans to pay the bank back when he gets the money, all those things. Now, let me tell you a tip. A tip that I have that keeps my business flowing too is network marketing. This is something I do as well. And I tell people about this all the time. People shun it away. And other little things I do. But when you get residual income, that helps keep your life fluid and your businesses. And so that's one thing that helped me early on, the residual income from those things before I really went back into doing my insurance and things of that nature, having that consistent passive income. So no matter what it is, whatever you do, you have to have that passive income to help you when times get rough. Yes, you do. You got to have it. Life gets rough. Money sometimes go and come. You got to keep customers. With real estate, I only make money if I sell a house. unless I sell them some insurance. So selling that insurance and all of that, then it keeps coming. But the real estate, once you sell that house, it's over. It's over unless you're doing the rental income and things of that nature. Passive income, as I mentioned, with rental income. So I actually have started a program. Yes, you got to keep that passive income. Sure, you know about that. That passive income. So I started a class. If you want more information about what I just shared with you, go to bit.ly 6 steps to start a business. Again, bit.ly 6 steps to start a business. And you can get more information on what I just shared with you today. If you are interested in starting a business and maybe perhaps you don't know the ins and outs and all of that, and you're kind of confused, you know some, but you don't know a lot, you want to get more informed, I have a class that's coming up in August. You can go check it out at bit.ly small business clinic. .ly small business clinic. And I think we have a coupon that's opportunity. You get either 30% off. It is a 10-week class, and in those 10 weeks we go through every step that is needed. Now that's little $12 to $15 a week, how much the class is. And if you get the discount, you really get the deal. Right now the class is $149 total. $149 total for 10 weeks of class. Yes, thank you so much. bit.ly small business clinic. It's also in my profile. And for 10 weeks, $15 a week, $12 to $15 a week, you are getting full-fledged information. Everything that I have learned, or not everything, some things. I'm not going to teach you everything in one class because you'll be overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed teaching it to my students. And so with that being said, if you're interested in there, please go check it out. If you got any questions, you can email me at info@NichelleWomack.com. And that's N as in Nancy. I'm a little different. Yes, the Small Business Clinic. Thank you so much, Cheryl. God bless you. And so that is my message today. Again, if you want to know more about what I shared with you today, you can go to bit.ly to start a business, and it will take you to this information. And there's also some other information on it. A pleasure. Thank you so much. God bless you. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Pat, for being here. And as I mentioned, if you want to go to the class to learn more about what it is, you can go to bit.ly small business clinic. Yes, thank you so much, Cheryl. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to connect with me in some daily inspiration, I give daily inspiration on Instagram at Nichelle Womack. Yes, thank you so much. God bless you. And I also am on Twitter, Daily Inspiration. You may hear me on there talking about the presidential election too. I was so excited yesterday to see Hillary nominated. Now, she wasn't my first choice, to be honest with you, because I'm a burn. Let the burn go on. I love Bernie Sanders. So, but I mean, I'm feeling this woman thing. I'm kind of feeling this. Yeah, we'll see. And I'm for whoever can progress this country, whoever can take us, instead of going back, move forward. So that's who I'm for. And you as an American have a choice in who you vote for. There's no need to be mad at people with their choice. It's your choice. If you want to vote for the Donald, go ahead. If you want to vote for Miss Hillary, Madam President, do that. We have a choice, and that is your right. So no need to hate and things of that nature. Just do you, be you, and make certain when you press that vote ballot, like President Obama said, don't boo, vote. When you press that vote ballot, make certain that you are looking out for your children and their children and carrying on. All right. Well, I got to go, guys. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for being here and putting up that information. God bless you. God bless each and every one of you. And may everything you touch turn to gold. God bless you and be highly favored in everything that you do. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.